Wow, it's so fun to play with machetes. Don't play with machetes unless you're extremely careful. I know it's fun, but make sure you're far from everybody else. If we're going to make a circus and dance around with knives, well, we can do that, but intelligently. It's a weapon, it's a weapon, it's a weapon. Respect. So, today we're going to cut plants by the side of this road. It's just a dirt road, so it tends to grow over. And we want to be able to pass through here with the car. Some people object to the idea of ever killing anything, including a plant. Of course, they eat vegetables and fruits, but whatever. All these plants were not here a few years ago. So they grew up really quickly. It's not a problem to kill a few plants. In fact, if you don't, you won't be able to walk through the forest. I'm here with my very long machete. A couple nice visitors. Have you ever used a machete before?
Nope.
Okay, this is great. It's an exciting thing to do, but we already did a safety talk, and we're making a video about that. There's a few things to remember. It's awfully nice to have long sleeve shirt. You don't have to, but there are a couple kinds of plants where if you cut them, they have a juice in them that gets on your skin and burns it. It's one of those two toxic plants I mentioned. And you know, your arms do get scraped up and stuff, so it's good to have a thicker shirt than this. This is a great shirt. That's a great shirt. This is called Harachina up here, and we're going to want to cut that out of here. Okay. I've got my sunglasses on to protect my eyes because I never know when a plant's going to come and attack me or something. So let's practice this a little bit. Why don't you guys move out of the way so I don't hurt anybody. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand. I can switch to my left hand when my right hand is tired, but it's less coordinated. And it is kind of fun to practice and do that. There's no reason to machete quickly. You don't have to be loco about it. Just take your time. Don't tire yourself out. And as we discussed before, don't machete so long that you damage your hand. You'll actually rip up, your hands will bleed. So in this case, I want to decide where to cut. I can't get in that close to the plant. I want to cut this guy here. So I'm going to start by clearing down here and clearing a place for me to walk. Now in this case I'm slashing this way. I can also slash this way, and I can even mix the two, which is fairly efficient. So I think I've got enough space to get in here. Let's see if I can just chop this down. My machete's stuck. So this was already cut a while ago, but it grew right back. So cut down in there, cut across there, throwing junk out of the way as I need to, trim some branches so I can get at the main trunk. Sometimes I want to cut the upper part so I can get to the lower part. I also want to think about what angle I'm hitting that plant at. If I hit it just completely parallel to it, it's actually stronger and won't cut it as well. So I'm going to try and get between these and get an angle about 45 degrees into that. Let's see if I can do it in one hit. Yep. Now notice that it fell down and hit me in the face. In this case, it's not a very strong plant. I'm stronger than this plant, but other times it can really hurt. In this case, it's a plant that's currently living, and so it's fairly supple. Now, if it was a dead plant, there's a lot more likelihood something's going to break off and hit me in the face or something sharp. So you're going to decide differently how to cut different kinds of plants. See, I did that one at an angle again. Works really well. In this case, I'm kind of working my way down to the base. This is actually a very, very thick plant and a very hard plant to get rid of. So my actual goal here is to cut enough of it away so that I weaken the root system, and I might not end up actually getting rid of it until next year. So we'll cut a little bit more here. That was a failed one because I hit it too steep an angle. My blade hit this before it hit that, so this thing knocked my blade to the wrong angle and it didn't cut anything. So I'll chop that guy out of the way. Now I've got access to that one. Get rid of some more junk in here. It's kind of really a fun task, very ninja-like. Got to make sure you don't cut your leg. Now with that last one, I cut in here and I'm just getting a little too close to my legs. Is it a big danger? Well, it will be if I cut my leg really hard, and we're kind of far from the hospital. So that was questionable because I'm cutting towards my foot. So always be thinking about safety, especially if you're new. Do not be overconfident. So again, I've got two basic cuts. One is this way, and one is this way. You usually want to get a nice long swing, making sure there's nobody behind you. So I don't want to cut it like this, right? That's weak. I want to get it like this. Boom, gone. Sometimes with fallen pieces, I want to kind of chop them up just to get them out of the way. You can use your blade to also move things. Sometimes you can grab a plant and that gives you more stability on it. And I'm not an expert. You're welcome to comment and make your suggestions about how to use a machete well. So technique really matters about your decisions about where and how to hit things with your machete, and you'll get better at that. You'll find ways of being efficient and safe. Good luck in your experimentations. Another thing to keep in mind when you're done is to not lose your machete, to return it to the place where it's supposed to be. Thanks. A good time to do some macheting is in the morning when you want to warm your body up, but usually after the dew has already evaporated off the plants, because then they're not all wet. You don't get your hands wet and get splattered with dew.